What's up guys, Ethan from CardSpot with what is probably closest day to Christmas in Yu-Gi-Oh! It is new ban list time. Okay, so I have not seen the ban list, but before we have a look at it, let's quickly go over our predictions for the list, and we can see how right we were as we go. Okay, so to quickly run through what we predicted. So I had Albion, Appaloosa, Anti-Spell, and Flamberge being banned. Limited Skill Drain, and then Plushfire and Heavy Storm coming back to 1 each. Semi-limited, I had Corinne, Magispector Unicorn Corinne that is, Wanted, Secret of the Sinful Spoils, Opening of the Spirit Gates, and Sandgen Summoning. And then Unlimited, Armageddon Knight, and Pankratops. So let's see how we did. So I haven't looked at the list yet, it's on the bottom of the screen. I'm going to click on the first image and we're just going to see all the cards that got banned. So let's go. Oh, wow. Okay. They actually had a Fiendsmith card. I did not see that coming. Fiendsmith Lacrima banned. I mean, this was kind of the problem card of the Fiendsmith package. Well, okay, hear me out. Obviously, the whole Fiendsmith package is really strong, but this had, for no reason, just a burn effect on it. So it's like, if you got to your Fiendsmith cards, have a 1200 life point burn. Really interesting. Okay, yeah, I guess with the likes of Aerial Eater, you don't so much need Lacrima. But okay, alright. Konami might be cooking with this list. Secondly, Appaloosa, there we go, we called one. I think everyone could kind of see that going, so I'm actually quite excited for that to be gone. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, another great ban. Honestly, that card needed to go for a long time. Yeah, there's no reason for Calamity to be hanging around. And then Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. Another card. This and Appaloosa, I think most players could see. The writing's on the wall. Beatrice was just so easy to get out. 2 level 6s. Yeah, just too easy to make. So, okay, I think those are good hits. I am interested to see the other cards that we predicted being banned. No Flamberge Dragon, no Albion, no Anti-Spell. Okay. Alright. There's some good stuff on here. We'll see what the limited cards are. Here we go. Okay, there's a bunch here. So Ava coming back. Okay, sure. I don't think Drytron is much of a threat anymore, like that's why that was banned in the first place. Limited Snake Eye Ash and Poplar. Okay, those are decent hits for Snake Eye. Definitely makes it a lot harder for them to get their starters, if you will, but I feel like Diabell Star, the Black Witch, is a pseudo starter as well. But okay, that's something. Limited number 40 and number C40, Gimmick Puppet of Strings and Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings. Does that do anything to the deck? I'm not the most familiar with Gimmick Puppet. I have played it a couple of times, or I played against it a couple of times. I guess that just means if they can't FTK you the first try, they don't get a follow-up. Okay. Branded Fusion Limited. Well, where did that come from? Who saw Branded Fusion being limited on here? So Branded's just kind of dead now, right? Like, yeah, wow. I did not see that coming at all. Opening of the Spirit Gates Limited. Okay, they went a bit harder than we predicted. I thought it would get semied, but they've gone straight for the jugular with the opening. And Pot of Prosperity Limited as well. Okay, that I can actually get behind. Like, Pot of Prosperity is a bit too good. So I can see that going to 1 and kind of being okay with it. Sandgen Summoning as well. So another card that we predicted to go to 2 has gone to 1. I don't see Wanted on here, which is a little bit dubious, but I'm okay with that. If you get rid of the 1 field spell for Tenpai, you're good. That we can work with. Grass. They unbanned grass. Is Telement best deck now? Like, that's a crazy card to be unbanning, Konami. That's, okay. That's an unban that I didn't see coming as well. Like, what the hell? And it's skill drain to 1, and which was one of our predictions as well. There's a lot to unpack there on that limited list. Holy. I can't believe they unbanned grass. That grass looks greener. What is that card doing back? Wow. Okay. Alright, so far we have 2 correct hits. Appaloosa banned and Skill Drain unbanned. They went harder than I thought they would on opening the Spirit Gates and Sangan summoning. Alright. Semi-limits. Let's see what's back at 2. Okay, all the Dragon Rulers, Blaster, Redox, Tempest, and Tidal. Okay, that's fine. They all came back to 1 and haven't really done anything, so I can see that. I think probably because Dragon Ruler was so impactful, those are cards that are just going to have to come back slowly. And that's fine. Lunalight Tiger, has that been a 1 this whole time? I remember that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Colossus back to 2, that's really interesting. That's helpful for Thunder Dragons. I'll try that out for sure. And Ib coming back to 2. All of these are fine. Like, none of these... The recent unbans being the Dragon Rulers, Colossus, and Ib. And I say recent, like Ib was... Was that even this year? It might have been last year. None of those have done too much. So it's like, okay. They've done little bits here and there, an occasional top or whatever, but have not been impactful. So that's fine. Nothing too crazy there. Unlimited? Armageddon Knight. Okay, we called that. Red Rose Dragon. Because that was at 1, right? Okay. Kurin. We called that going to 2. It's gone to 3. Performage Plushfire. There is another unban. Plushfire did just receive an errata, so that kind of makes sense. Ancient Fairy Dragon. Sure, because that's also received an errata. Dinglong, First of the Yangzing. Yeah, no one's playing 3 Dinglong. Or maybe Yangzing might, but that's not really a deck. And Time Seal. Was Time Seal still banned? Okay, no. Time Seal was still at 1. Where's the rest of the hits, Konami? Okay, so let's go through this, now that we know the list in its entirety. Okay, so Lacrima, good hit for Snake Eye, Fiendsmith, because you got to look, what are the best decks right now? Snake Eye, Fiendsmith, Yubel, Fiendsmith, Tempai. That's kind of, and obviously Snake Eye, Fiendsmith is a good bit above those two. And we saw in the OCG when they hit Snake Eye that Tempai was like, boom, ready to go. And created a very unfun meta over there. So, alright. So, Lacrima, I do think is a good hit for the overall Fiendsmith part of the strategy. I was not expecting any Fiendsmith cards to get hit. I think that is a good one. People were talking about could they hit Lurry so that it hits Fiendsmith a little bit. That's a pretty good hit. Okay. Just on the fact that gets rid of the burn out of the equation. That's what I like the most about that. Appaloosa, that's a good hit as well. Generic Negate, good hit. Calamity, good hit. Beatrice, good hit. I'm really happy with all of the cards that they have banned. I just would have liked to see them ban more cards, if that makes sense. Flamberge, Albion, something like that. I don't think limiting Snake Eyes Ash and Poplar is enough. I guess it hurts the follow-up a little bit. Yeah, okay. So, banned cards overall, great bans. Would have liked to see more. So, we'll give that a B+ for Konami. Okay, limits. So, Eva is fine to come back to 1. Drytron I feel like has been so power crept at the moment. I'm not sure if there's like any new decks coming out that this will support off the top of my head. And then yeah, limit to Snake Eye, Ash, and Poplar. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Limit to number 40 and number C40. I would have just preferred to see like the field spell limited, because the Gimmick Puppet field spell is similar to the Tenpai field spell, where it just protects them from any interaction. Branded Fusion to 1 is probably the weirdest limit on this list, because I don't really think anyone had a problem with 3 Branded Fusion. Maybe they're just sick of Branded being around for so long and being still a good deck, but like, stop supporting it then. Like, that's kind of simple. Opening of the Spirit Gates to 1 hits the Fiendsmith U-Bell, so that's fine. Pot of Prosperity to 1, generic, like, I mean, that is kind of a hit to Tenpai, I guess. I think of those top 3 decks, Tenpai was the only deck running Prosperity, so I guess that's somewhat of a hit to Tenpai. So they can't, they open their field spell less, they can't Prosperity for the field spell, so they have to Prosperity for, or they have to search it off Hydra. So, okay. Definitely a consistency hit in those 2 cards for Tenpai, for sure. Grass. I really want to try Telement now. Like, I see that and I'm like, well, the Horus cards are getting reprinted in the tins. I have some copies of Grass. Maybe we try... but I think there's cards that could have been limited. I would have liked to see Heavy Storm limited. But realistically, for our predictions, we predicted Heavy Storm limited, Skill Drain limited, which is on here, and Plush Fire limited, which they brought back to 3. So I guess I can't complain too much for the limits, but that was based on the cards that they banned, being Albion and Flamberge, but instead they've limited Ash and Poplar and Branded Fusion. Like, I don't really have a problem with the branded deck if they can't puppet lock me, but they still can. They just can't barely do anything else. Yeah, okay. I think, oh, we'll give those a rating. I think we give the limits, there's some good limits, there's some bad limits. It's kind of right in the middle. We'll give that a C. Yeah, I feel like those limits, oh, C+. We'll give them a C+, because they did hit Skill Drain. Okay. Semi-limits, there isn't really a lot to say here. I would have liked to see them use these for a bit of consistency hits for decks. Like, you could have easily chucked Wanted on here, you could have easily chucked Sanguine Kaiman on here maybe. There's a bunch of things you could have done. So the only card on here that really excites me personally is Colossus coming back to 2. Now I have to get a second ulti, come on man. I'm not really super impressed with these semi-limits. Like, this is just very... Konami in the TCG very much uses the semi-limits as like very orderly. It just goes to 2 because it's about to go back to 3 kind of thing. And I'm not a huge fan of that. I think it's fine. There's nothing really problematic here. We'll give it a B. Yeah. And then the unlimits. So Armageddon Knight, that was pretty obvious. Didn't bring Pank back, which is sad. Red Rose Dragon is fine. Kirin is fine. Plush Fire is fine. Ancient Fairy Dragon, Dinglong. It's all fine. There's nothing too crazy. A lot of these cards have either received erratas or are just so irrelevant now and can't keep up with the likes of Snake Eye Fiendsmith that they're not worth playing. Who's playing Time Seal in the year of our Lord 2024? I would have liked to see Pank on here. But other than that, I think it's good. Well, it's fine. It's good to see Armageddon Knight off. He didn't need to be on there anymore. We'll give that we'll give it a B-. Yeah, I think it's not quite as bad as the semis, but it's almost. So overall, we got 3 predictions right. We got Appaloosa banned, we got Skill Drain to 1, and we got Armageddon Knight to 3. Honestly, for my first ever Banlist prediction, I'll take that. Three cards correct. It is a pretty large list, honestly. They have hit, well, realistically, they have hit every top deck. Will it be enough? I think people were hoping for a little bit more, particularly after making us wait all this time, you know, the whole end of August, and it's literally September here in New Zealand. Like, this came out, you can see here, 6 a.m. September 1st. Like, yeah, okay, sure. Alright, well, that's the list. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, because I definitely think it started off really well. I thought Konami was cooking with those limits. And, not sure what they're doing now with the rest of the list. But let me know what you think down in the comments. And hopefully we're in for a better format than it has been for the last, since April, 4 months. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Alright guys, that's me signing off. I'll see you in the next video.